All right, we're recording. Hopefully this is on. Okay, so you can't hear yourself. It only comes through the computer.
Oh.
Which is nice. It doesn't pick up background noise.
Oh, okay.
So you guys can talk as much as you want. It's not going to pick you up.
Oh,
cool. But if you pop in behind, then maybe we'll hear you. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I guess you can't see any of this. So.
Oh, there. Okay.
All right. Hi guys, I'm Abby and I'm here with Cassy.
Hello.
She's one of our Tampa and St. Pete stylists and she's doing one of our podcasts today.
Yay.
She's really nervous. You don't have to be nervous. So the podcast is just supposed to be fun, Cass. Okay. So we're just talking about.
Do I look at you or do I look at the camera?
So Mark and I kept trying to figure that out, and I messed it up last time. I think we need to look more at the camera.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
we got a nice view of the back of my frizzy hair last time. Pretty much the whole podcast. Today I straightened it better. It's not so frizzy. It should be better this time. Also, one of the things that I'm asking, and we can break the ice with that, is I'm asking all of you ladies and gentlemen, it's your chance to ask me any question that you want to ask me. About hair or really anything. I didn't prepare you for it because I felt like on the spot it's just a better. On the spot's better. It's more organic.
Okay, well, actually, I want to kind of know how you got into hair because I know you went to like art school and stuff, and then kind of pursued.
Yes. So that is the same question Mark asked me.
Oh,
so maybe I should prepare you all more. I don't get the same question, but I will debrief it again. I started doing hair when I was 15 in a hair salon in Pittsburgh as my third job. I was an ice cream scooper, very talented ice cream scooper, at a place called Sweet Licks. No, it wasn't a strip club. It was just an ice cream place. And then I was a camp counselor for preschool kids.
Oh, cute.
And that's what I did in the summertime. And during the year, I worked in a salon that with Mark and I were talking about a girl who just left there. And I was 15 at the time. So that was 20-something years ago. Good for her. But I did find out she did just leave that salon. So also good for her. But yeah, so I worked in high school in a salon, and then I went to college for graphics and photography, and I got back into hair because I was engaged at 22, and I thought it was a lifestyle that I could make my own schedule and have kids, because having kids has always been important to me. So the rest of that story is on the Mark and Abby podcast. How did you get into hair?
Okay, well, I always loved like doing my own hair, and so like backstory for me is I went to college. I was gonna pursue nursing.
Shocking.
Yep.
All hairdressers are nurses. Not all, but most of them become nurses. There's some kind of nursing background.
And I went to college, and as one does, I just ended up partying more than like going to class.
Cass, I didn't know you were a big partier.
I was back in the day.
You're like 10.
Yeah,
it's
it kind
okay.
of just like went
right.
downhill. So I kind of dropped out of college, and I started working for a local company for a couple years, and they had a bunch of businesses in one. They were like towing, and they had a rental company, a car rental company, and they also did like DMV on the side.
Okay.
And so I then started kind of managing all of it, and it was a lot to do. And then I started kind of like figuring out what's my outlet that like de-stresses me a little bit. And I started doing my friends' hairs, and I was like, oh my God, I love this. Like, this is what I want to kind of like get into. So I started doing their hair more and more, and I had the opportunity to come move to Florida, and I was like, you know what?
What was that opportunity so Cassy's from Alaska, which makes her super interesting because not many people know about Alaska. And then it's very dark all the time.
Yes, during a certain point, 100%. So I have an older brother and sister, and they did a road trip and ended up in Florida. They did a road trip from Alaska all the way to Florida, and they were here for a couple of months, and I like saw how much they were having so much fun, and my sister was like, you know what, like, why don't you come to Florida? We'll all get a house together, and you know, if it doesn't work out, you can always go home, but like at least you'll have family. And I knew I wanted to get out of Alaska. Like, Alaska's a very small town, but I knew I couldn't do it alone because that's very scary for myself. And so I was like, okay, that's awesome. Like, I can go to cosmetology school and still be with my family and kind of like, you know, do it in the sunshine.
Nice. I love that. So you guys know that we are podcasting in the middle of a workday right now, so there will be people randomly walking behind us. But it was better than being in my tiny office with ugly background that nobody wants to look at. So ignore the... Actually, it's kind of interesting. I kind of like it. Kind of like it. So we just got out of an R&Co class. For people who don't know, R&Co is our product line here at the station, and some people are really into hair products, some people aren't. We should actually do a how-to on how to use some of the products. Maybe I'll insert that now, cut and paste a little bit here. I'll record Cassy putting on some hair product. Try to make this as interesting as possible. Okay, so what else can we talk about hair related here? So, Cassy, why don't you tell people what it's like to work in both locations?
Oh, I love it. Honestly, I feel like I get the best of both worlds because I find that it's so nice being in St. Pete because I do live in St. Pete, so I'm like 10 minutes from my house, so I don't have to leave early. I work in St. Pete for 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And it's so nice to have that short commute and be in like the vicinity, and it's really nice like when I go to the stores and somebody like comments on my hair or something, I'd be like, yeah, I'm like right down the road. But also I love being in Tampa because it's just a little bit different. Like it's a different vibe. It's so funny because I feel like Tampa and St. Pete do have a little bit of a different vibe, and I love it.
Very different vibes, for sure. If someone was looking for a new hairdresser, what could they find in you?
I do love to do like lived-in color.
And explain lived-in color, because not everybody knows what lived-in color is.
So,
it's a very big term in hair right now. If you look on Instagram or anything, it's like lived-in color, lived-in color. But I think a lot of people are confused what that is.
I think it's something that's more like natural looking. Like you look at somebody's hair and you're not like, oh, they get their hair done all the time. Like it's
low maintenance color.
Yes, very low maintenance.
So someone with lived-in color is someone who just doesn't want to be in here very often.
Yes.
Someone kind of like myself who gets my hair done once a year. Although I was just talking about going platinum again.
I love that.
What are the thoughts on me going platinum?
Yeah.
I haven't been platinum since my 20s. I'll try to find a picture and put a picture here.
What are all like the different colors you've done in your hair?
Oh, my favorite is pink.
Okay.
And bubblegum pink.
Cute.
The first time I went pink, actually, I had Jimmy Bob's wife, who is a photographer, not a hairdresser, by the way. I had her put the pink in my hair. It was my first time using Vivids because they were so new.
Yeah.
And it was hot fuchsia pink. And I was going for baby bubblegum pink. And so that day, ironically, I had just started dating my husband, and we went to IKEA, and I'm like walking around with this fluorescent like fuchsia hair. And I'll never forget it because we just started dating, and he's like, everyone's going to think I'm in here walking around with a stripper. Because if you know my husband, he's like a huge jokester. So it was just funny because he was used to seeing me platinum blonde. That was when I was platinum blonde.
Okay, and then you put the
pink
in.
I put the pink in, and it was so dark for my skin tone. It looked terrible. It just, some people can pull that off. I think more like ethnic or like not even ethnic, but like dark eyes,
Yes.
look good with the fuchsia, and like I'm blue eyes, pale skin. It was not for me. So we dish soaped it out. We tried. And then I ended up going to GMF, Gasparilla Music Festival, the next day with it like super bright. I had to wear a hat. I tried to hide it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good situation. But then I've been green. I do not pull off green like Kristen. So far, green is my favorite color on Kristen. I don't know where she went.
Yeah, that looks so good.
I spray painted it yellow for a photo shoot. I didn't actually have it yellow.
I was like, did it like hold?
Thank God, because I also look terrible with yellow hair. That might actually have been my worst look, was the yellow hair. And then as far as that, I've done everything. I had the Christina Aguilera black on the bottom, blonde on top. I had dark red hair.
Oh, okay.
I did that for a hair show when I was like 18, and that was also terrible. But then I had like almost black hair, and I actually really liked the almost black hair on me. It just didn't fit my personality.
Like very dark, yeah.
My eyes like popped, and it was if you didn't know me, you didn't know I was a blonde. But if you knew me, you were like, it's just not working.
Yeah.
What color hair have you had?
Okay, so I really haven't done anything like vivids or anything like that. Growing up, my parents wouldn't let me do that, and I think that's kind of why I love to like get into hair, because I could do it on other people and like live my life through them.
Maybe we should get you some wigs.
I know. Do a little fun.
Do a little thing what Cassy looks the best with.
What color is best?
Oh my God, I really should get some vivid wigs in here, and all of us just rock different color hair.
Yeah, each day.
That would be fun. Have you ever seen those bachelorette parties where they do that?
Yes, I have.
They do that.
That's cute.
Okay, so last question for you. What is so far the most interesting behind the chair experience you've had? Good or bad? Just like different. Or, I mean, it could even be you're from Alaska, you're not used to hurricanes. Was that wild?
Oh, yeah. 100%. I was scared. They were like, oh, there's nothing to be scared about. And then they're telling me to get a little pool for my dog, so in case he can't go outside. And it was
good.
Yeah.
I actually had a friend who got stuck because half of the neighborhood's flooded around here, and she got stuck in her house, and her dog couldn't go to the bathroom, and it was a puppy.
Oh, no.
So we told her to take one of her plants and throw the dirt on a trash bag, because the dog
smart.
would not go outside. Like, they have like a balcony that was higher. Eventually they got her to go out there, but I mean, you have to respect that she's house trained.
Yeah.
But yeah, the weird things you live in with a hurricane.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say this hurricane is the first one that I saw people kayaking out of their homes, and the rescue team from St. Pete came and were throwing people onto this huge vehicle with wheels that are probably the height of me, and it was wild because this wasn't even a major hurricane.
I know, it didn't hit us that hard, so I was like,
and it's just
what would happen
it's
if it
crazy to think, what if we were the direct target?
Yep.
So hurricanes are,
they're scary.
they're very scary. Don't take them lightly. Take them seriously.
I talk to my clients sometimes because I'm used to earthquakes. And so I always say I take an earthquake over a hurricane any day, but they're
Really?
the opposite. But I think it's what you know.
It's what you know.
Yeah.
I've never been through an earthquake, so I wouldn't know anything about that. But I did. I used to take for granted hurricanes all the time. I was like, oh, the wind came by again. We were like unscathed. And it's now that I've seen what can happen with it. And like last year, I had 3 family members lose their homes in Ian, and how drastically it can change someone's lives. And it's just not something that I will make fun of the wind just blowing lightly ever again. It's so easy to do.
Very
but
true.
So many places don't get
Take
hit.
a little bit more precaution.
Yeah. So, but yeah, take hurricanes seriously. All right. So that is the Cassy and Abby podcast, and we will see you next time with, I think Alicia's next.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I think it will be Alicia.
Yeah.
Maybe Elle. I can get on here right now. We can just get that one over.
Come on, girl.